Hi, my name is Govan Martin. I'm Chair and Executive Director of Suicide Prevention Alliance, and I'm very proud to be here today, speaking to all of you. Today should be a good day, because there's lots of good news out there about how we're preventing suicide. The current statistics show that there's been a reduction of 833 deaths from suicide that occurred from 2018 to 2019. In Pennsylvania, we've had 133 reductions in suicides. In Pennsylvania, we established our first loss team. A loss team means local outreach to suicide survivors. They go out and talk to the people who just had a suicide happen in their immediate family. They provide comfort, they provide support. Again, great news. We also started 2 Hope Squads in Pennsylvania, one in Clearfield County, one in York County. Hope Squads are put in schools, teenagers that learn suicide prevention training and also mental health training to get them to help other teens and provide them the support and comfort and also resources where they can get help in schools. Yet I'm still not happy. We have to do more. We have to reach out to people who are suffering, not just a segment of the population, to all populations. There's still a stigma that's involved in suicide that's just untouched. A lot of people don't talk to attempt survivors. A lot of people don't talk to loss survivors. A lot of people don't talk to people who are having thoughts of suicide. We can't continue to do that. We can't continue to lose more lives to suicide. Again, even though there's good news that's currently going on, it's not enough. We need to do more. We must use our voices to cause change. Robert Kennedy once said, "The future does not belong to those who are content with today. Rather, it will belong to those who can blend vision, reason, courage, and a personal commitment." Join us in changing the future by starting the conversation and connecting through hope. If you or anybody else you know is having thoughts of suicide, we want you to reach out because we know there is help. Please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. You can also contact the Crisis Text Line and text 741-741, and a crisis counselor will assist you immediately. If for any reason you are put on hold or delay, please call your local crisis intervention line in your own county or call 911. There is help. There is hope.
I lost my little brother to suicide 3 years ago on October 4th, 2018. He did a video 6 years prior to his death, and he wanted to get education in schools. He wanted to end bullying, and since he never got the chance to do so, I made it my mission just to speak up and be his voice and act, because I feel like so many people who want change, they complain that there's no change happening, but they don't want to speak up and do anything about it. That emotions are okay. It's okay to be happy, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be mad, as long as they have the correct tools to teach them how to get those emotions out in a healthy way.
Is talking about suicide, and that the silence really adds to the stigma. And I see that as one of the biggest barriers to stopping suicide, is people are afraid to say they're feeling this way, or people are afraid to ask for help, because it gives people a chance to talk about suicide, promote prevention, identify maybe what we still need, and so it's really, really important.
My name is a name of suicide. I attempted twice to remove my name and face from this world. Saying that out loud sometimes makes people uncomfortable, as if there was something wrong with me, as if there were some glitch in the matrix for being able to stand here today after 2 failed attempts and be able to speak with you. I cannot stress how important starting a conversation is. The saying, "It is better to be safe than sorry," couldn't be truer. There was no one to have that conversation with me. What I thought was clear and loud signs were left unseen, and questions were left unasked. I was left to the dark, to the silence that can cut a person deeper than anything else can in this world.
These past 2 years have been long and filled with pain, loss, and deep sadness, but they've also been filled with hope and the promise of turning action into advocacy and life-saving efforts to make sure this tragedy is less likely to happen to anyone else. I am determined to turn my daughter's tragedy into something good in hopes to save even one life. My child did not deserve to die. My daughter had her whole life ahead of her. But when you have websites like this that exist, people like my daughter don't even have a chance.
As a society, we spend a lot of time talking about how do we stop someone from killing themselves, when maybe the bigger question should be, why do they want to die? And so I would just think that if you ask that question, you show somebody that you care, you invest yourself in them, and you help guide them in the direction that they need to go. Suicide is preventable, not inevitable.
Jennifer O'Mara. I'm a state representative in Delaware County, and I'm here today because I am a family member of someone who died by suicide. When I was 13, my dad died by gun suicide, and he was a firefighter in Philadelphia. For many, many years, I didn't talk about it with people. I felt shame. I didn't want people to judge me, and I didn't know that there were other people out there who were also survivors. When I decided to run for office, I decided that it was time to share my story, and that I would try and use what happened to my dad and to my family to help other people. In Harrisburg, I have passed legislation that is targeted at suicide prevention, and I'm committed to doing whatever I can to break the stigma that surrounds mental health. Too many people in our society die by suicide, and every single loss is a tragic heartbreak because it is preventable. That is why I am going to continue to do whatever I can to pass legislation, to have conversations, and to share my story so we can break the stigma that surrounds mental health and we can save even one more life.
18 years ago, I was in a small boat fishing in Atlantic City, a big boat with drunken kids at a high rate of speed hit the side of our boat. I was on the front of the boat, and when the wake came, I went up in the air, I crushed T12, went up in the air, and crushed L1. In that split second, my life changed. It took me a very long time to accept the fact that I was in a chair. I was angry, then I had pity, and I never thought that I would be able to live a full life. I honestly contemplated committing suicide because I thought I would never be a whole person. And it was a good friend of mine who helped me find my faith because I had lost it. And I honestly believe that God wanted me to be an advocate for physically challenged people because I'm in a position to do that. And that's why every year I introduce Suicide Prevention Month in Pennsylvania. If you feel that you want to take your life, there are resources out there that can help you. There's a helpline, and I'm sure the other folks at the press conference have given that phone number. You're not alone. I was lucky that I had a support system. There are people out there who will help and support you. And if you need help, don't be embarrassed to say, I need help.